can almost taste the hot dogs and French fries.
Welcome back to Atlantic City and Challenge Atlantic City. The inaugural event is still going on. We are on triathlete.com, and the champion of the women's division, the first ever Challenge Atlantic City. Yes, the course record holder, the inaugural champion, the person who put her stamp on it, the first American. Laurel Wassner joins us. How's it feel to win an inaugural event, sort of in your hood? This is, Atlantic City's not too far. Right?
It is. I do consider this almost a home turf kind of race.
Yeah.
And so that's really special. And when they announced this race last year, I immediately said, I'm going to do that, even though I don't really do Ironman.
I was going to say, you're not really that.
It wasn't in my schedule, and people thought I was crazy, but I really wanted to do a race in Atlantic City. I mean, that's just cool.
Yeah.
So I stuck to it, and I wasn't feeling well the last couple of weeks, but I wanted to just do the race no matter what. And
you were sick last week at Tri-Rock Philly.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling well
for
the last couple of weeks, so I just did Philly as sort of a tune-up for this race and a workout kind of.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty good, so I just rested a lot this week and pretty much did nothing. Super taper. And I actually felt really great today.
I mean, all of a sudden now you're a long-distance triathlete. You forget about the sprint and Olympic stuff. Now you just have to do like 10 Ironman a year.
I think I did really enjoy it. And I really wanted to do a fast run just to make it a legitimate victory and time and effort. So I think my run was like a 3:09, which is pretty
very good.
It's okay.
And you were 9 and change, 9:29-ish, something like that. And you led wire to wire. You're first out of the water and first off the bike. And when you had a really sizable lead out of the water, and you that came down a little bit on the bike, but you still maintained. Did you get a sense of who was back there? A lot of times when you're leading,
I had no idea.
A lot of times the person who's chasing gets a lot more information than the person who's being chased.
I didn't have any idea. But I was just watching my heart rate, and I was being really, really conservative just because I'd been sick, and I really didn't want to blow up on the run.
Right.
And so I didn't go that fast on the bike until I got caught at mile 100.
Oh.
And then it kind of woke me up, and
was that Jacqui?
Jacqui caught me.
Jacqui caught you at mile 100.
Yeah.
I mean, but at that point, you probably know that you're a better runner, you'd assume.
Yeah, but you never know.
You never know. It's a long way, right? It's not like an Olympic distance race.
Right.
How much, because you don't do a lot of these, how much are you sort of, racing, not scared, but sort of like a little conservative because you don't want to blow up? Because you're doing sprint and Olympic, you just go.
Yeah.
This is different. This is an eating and drinking contest. And am I taking enough calories? Am I taking enough salt?
I think I thought about eating and drinking more than I thought about how fast I was going.
Right. Yeah.
And I think I actually did a really good job with that today. I felt great. No issues. I didn't do anything dumb either, which is everybody does stuff dumb. A victory for me.
Yeah.
So.
You did Ironman New York City and finished 9th there, and had a good race there. Have you done another Ironman distance?
No, this is my
distance?
This
is the second one.
2 years ago.
Yeah, so enough time for you to sort of forget how painful they are.
I would have done one last year. It just didn't fit in the schedule, and
I
had a foot injury where I couldn't really run. So I got over. Hopefully, my foot won't hurt again. It hurts a little bit today, but I did a lot more longer distance training this year over the winter with the idea that I would do another Ironman.
Now you split your time, LA and New York, which is pretty cool to be able to go. So you live in the city, live in New York, and then you come in the wintertime and train in Santa Monica?
I was in Santa Monica actually for all of last winter, so I missed. New York had a brutal winter.
Yes.
There were I don't know how many snowstorms, but really bad ones. I missed all of them. So
good girl.
I really was fortunate because I was doing 5-hour bike rides in the sun when my sister was battling with ice. So
was Becca out there on the course today?
She was. I saw her. I don't think I saw her on the bike, but I saw her on the run. She actually drove out to the first turnaround, so she was out there. And I saw her. My whole family, except for one sister, was there cheering for me. So that was really special.
So how big was your cheering section?
My mom, dad, older sister, and her 3 kids.
Wow.
So
and Becca.
And her baby.
And her baby.
So we had a big contingent out there.
That is a big contingent. Now, the other thing that comes along with the prize money from this is a trip to Bahrain to
Super
do
exciting.
Challenge Bahrain, which has a huge prize purse, I think. So you'll take advantage of that.
I'm definitely going to go to that, yeah. I didn't even think about that until I was sort of 1 mile out, and I thought, I'm winning, and I'm also going to win the trip. So that was pretty exciting.
That is really exciting. So coming down that last stretch, I mean, you've had an event-filled last number of years from, a number of years ago when, getting through cancer and coming back from that and traveling back and forth. And winning this race. When you really, and when we talked the other day, and I said, I think you're one of the favorites to win this race, and you looked at me sort of cross-eyed, like, why would you think that? Because this is not your specialty. But you've got raw speed, and there's something about raw speed that transfers to long distance. It's hard to go from slow, long distance guy or gal to go fast. But to go from speed and go longer isn't as tough a transition.
I definitely think I have the natural running talent, and I haven't really done the training for a marathon, so
Right.
I was pretty happy with my time. But I did definitely have to sort of get the bike, figure the bike out a little bit more. I think I was too conservative, but worked out.
Now, I'm assuming that you would like it better if there was more hills, right?
Also,
This was pretty flat.
I excel at hills and not at flat races.
Yeah.
Flat races, but you have to be good at all formats to be a real champion. So.
And I heard that there was a pretty steady headwind on the way back.
Yes, I wasn't really expecting that. That was the hardest part of the race.
The last 20 miles or so?
It was a headwind, really big headwind, and sort of a up false flat.
Yeah.
On the way back for from mile 80 to 95 or something like that.
Well, it's funny when you hit the 80 miles, you think, almost done. It's like, no, it's like
we
90,
turned onto the
100.
expressway,
It's
and I
like
was
32 more miles. It's a
Yeah.
long way. When you're out there in a race like this, and it's a first-time race, so you always have to be thinking, okay, I'm hoping intersections are blocked. I'm hoping everything goes well because it's a first-time event. What were your thoughts on just the way the race was run?
I had Jersey's finest escorting me the whole
you did.
time.
Yeah.
So I had no issues. All the intersections were
everything was great.
Stopped
Yeah.
for me. It was a little bit scary, kind of going against the traffic on the expressway, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I got blown. I got really blown by a tractor trailer because I'm small, and
Yes.
I just got pushed off the road a little bit. So
Just a little bit.
I got a little freaked out about that, but it was great. They did a great job.
And running the boards.
It was soft. It was like a trampoline.
Did it feel like,
Yeah.
It felt like you were almost like indoor
Bouncy.
track, right? Where
Yeah.
you're running little
My sister, that's the first thing she said to me. I saw her before we got to the boardwalk, and she said, "You're going to love the boardwalk. It's bouncy." So it was great. I loved it.
loved that.
And great crowds. I mean, there were all sorts of people out there cheering.
Yeah, you don't get bored when you run on an Atlantic City boardwalk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sights out there.
There were a lot of triathlete fans, but there were just a lot of random
People.
Beachgoers
Yes.
and casino people.
Yeah. And Lady Gaga leftovers who don't
I
realize the
didn't
concert's
see
over.
any of those, but I was looking for those.
Love it. Well, congratulations
thank you.
on an amazing race. Good
Thanks.
for you. You're going to have a fun trip to Bahrain.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's the biggest win of your career?
Yeah, definitely the biggest win. Just to be able to win with my mom and dad here, and and my sisters.
Yes.
And that was really special. So I wish Beck had done it, because it would have
Then
been
you
fun
could
to
have crunched
get
her.
22. But
And who would it have been too?
I don't know. Would have been a good race, I think.
Love that.
But yeah, that was definitely a good win.
Love that. Again, we're at Challenge Atlantic City, the inaugural. This is Breakfast with Bob Championship Edition. Our guest has been Laurel Wassner. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.